I guess it would be social media, the YouTubes, I guess. I don't know how I exactly say it. What's going on out there in the land of YouTube? How's everybody doing? So let me show you guys a picture. So let me show you this photograph so you guys can see it. I'm gonna save this picture. So this guy right here, this guy's named Robert Sobek Jr. That's his name. Robert Sobek Jr. is a murderous pig. He murders people. That's what he does. So not only does Robert Sobek Sr. murdered people. Yep, it's pretty common that when you have a murderous pig, that they come from a long pig family. And we know this because I've shown you guys lots and lots of times. I'll give you a simple one. Zach Wester in Florida, who planted drugs on all those people and put all those people in prison. Zach Wester came from a long pig family as well. So what the ironic part is that when you take a look at, so this is Robert Sobek Jr. right here. This is the pig who murdered Anthony Allegrini. So there's that. And his dad, Robert Sobek Sr., murdered a pig. And you can look up a case called Golson, Golson versus US, which is when Mikas Golson sued the Pennsylvania State Police for Robert Sobek Sr. murdering Mikas Golson. So his daddy murdered a kid, and then Robert Sobek Jr. murdered Anthony Allegrini. I talked to the Allegrinis yesterday for 2 hours. I interviewed them for 1 hour and 13 minutes. And you know what they told me? That Anthony Allegrini Jr. was the best human being they knew in the world. That he would have never left home and not came home. He never would have left home and not came back. I want you guys to look up Golson versus US. It would have been from 94 or 95. Golson versus United States. I want you to look that up. Because Robert Sobek Sr. murdered Mikas Golson. Almost 20 years exactly. This piece of shit right here, Robert Sobek Jr., murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr. Anthony Allegrini Jr. did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. This guy is a murderous pig. His father is a murderous pig. Are you shocked? Are you shocked? Is it shocking to you to find out that this pig murdered somebody and his dad murdered somebody too? And by the way, the dad, Robert Sobek Sr., there was all these questions about whether or not he followed policy. He was a drug enforcement piggy, and that drug enforcement that he did on Mikas Golson, Mikusgolson, Mikas Golson, apparently there was no drugs, but Robert Sobek Sr. killed him anyway. So look up Golson versus US. Golson versus US. Here's what it looks like right here. Okay, I got some information coming in from my people here. Let me give you guys a little bit of information. And then we're gonna call some folks to the carpet here. We're gonna call some folks to the carpet. So this is, it says here, dad was a pig, and then here's the case here. Oops, I can't. Apparently you can't touch your phone here. Sorry about that. So this is the, let me see how I can show this. This is the case right there. US versus Golson. Right there. Do you see that? Do you see that? This is the this is the dad, US versus Golson. The dad, Robert Sobek Sr., murdered somebody too. Is that amazing to find out? Not really. Not really. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna have my trifold in my pocket. And now let's go talk to some pigs. Let's go talk to some pigs and find out the character of Robert Sobek Jr. Let's do that. Everybody hit the like button. Hit the like button. I do have some contacts here in Pennsylvania if I get arrested. So hopefully I don't get arrested. But you know what? Every time I step out, every time I take this chance, every time I go to a police station, I know that I could die and that I could go to the dungeon. I know that every single time. Every single time. Sure would like a clean thing here to... Everybody hit that like button because it brings more people in the room so that they get to see. Man, I really wish I had cleaned these glasses before I left. Cleared him. In 1994, they investigated him and cleared Robert Sobek Sr. of murder. He murdered a guy. He killed a guy. He murdered somebody. He literally murdered somebody who didn't have drugs. His daddy did the same thing. And then 20 years later, almost exactly, Robert Sobek Jr. murders Anthony Allegrini, who's doing nothing wrong, who's doing absolutely nothing wrong. So I just want to keep showing this photograph. This is Robert Sobek Jr. Put it on, post it, hashtag it. He murdered Anthony Allegrini. He murdered him. Murdered him in cold blood because he was mad. He was mad that the people didn't like the cops. Is that amazing? It's not amazing. Make sure you always have your trifold with you everywhere you go. Even though I'm an activist, I always have my trifold on me anywhere I go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. COVID-19, pull to operate. Okay. So as soon as I walk through the door, would you take a look at that? So the moment I walk into the lobby of the Pennsylvania State Police Department, my internet goes out. Yes, they have blocking technology there. So I'm gonna go with my other phone, I'm gonna record it, and I'm gonna get the information that I need. Always have your trifold in your pocket. Don't ever go anywhere without your trifold. I just find it so amazing that I just walked in here, and as soon as I pass the doors, watch, so it's gonna cut off for a second. It's gonna cut off. Just remember, Robert Sobek Jr. murdered Anthony Allegrini. So just remember that. I'm gonna go video on my other phone here so that I can, okay. Because I'm gonna audit this police department, whether they cut my phone out or not. So let's see what happens when I cross the doors. Let's file a Freedom of Information Act to see if they have an internet blocker in here. So I'm gonna pull the door here, and as soon as I go past the door, let's see.
Badge 15018, how are you doing today,
What's
sir?
your name? What's, say it again, sir?
Trooper Sai, badge number 150. Sai.
T-S-A-I.
Badge number 15018. I'm here to tell you, inside the lobby over here, we have sensitive information past that screen. You can't video record in there.
Did you create a limited public forum? Is there a law? Is there because I'm a constitutional law scholar. What I do specifically is I travel the country, and I'm going to sue you guys if you created a bullshit law. That's what's going to happen. I'll sue you. You'll be listed in the lawsuit because you're the one coming out here to enforce the law.
I understand that.
I'm here. I'm suing the DMV already. I'm suing you next.
Okay.
So you better make sure it's a law. Is it a law? Can you give me the statute? Because I'll give you my identification if you're going to charge me.
Well, I'm not asking for ID.
Well, I'm more than willing to ID if you're going to charge me with a crime. But
we're not getting up to
what
that
is
point.
the law that says that I can't go in the lobby and film? This is not a limited public forum. Matter of fact, you have 2 levels of glass there to protect people's confidential information.
Right over here, when you're going over here, as long as you're in the place over here conducting proper police
Oh,
business,
okay.
that's
Let me step in, please. Excuse me. Excuse me. You're standing in the way. So he said I can stand right here. If I go any further in the lobby, then I'm somehow violating the law.
Are you here for any police business?
Yes, absolutely. I'm here to hold the police accountable and to sue police. I sue you guys. I can't stand pigs.
This is a public area.
No.
Okay.
You're right. So I can go. So I can go anywhere here. But you guys put internet blocker in here. I'm gonna FOIA that, and I'm going to find out if there's an internet blocker in here. And if there is, I'm going to sue you.
That's up to you, sir.
No, it's not up to me. It's up to you to tell me if there's an internet blocker in here.
If there's an internet blocker?
Is there an internet blocker in here?
Can you explain what that means?
There's a little black box you can get. You pigs know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's a little black box you can put in here that'll block the internet. Why is that?
I do not know.
Bet you don't know. I want to talk about Robert Sobek Jr. His dad murdered somebody, then became a judge. Robert Sobek Jr. murdered Anthony Allegrini. Do you guys keep hiring murderous pig after murderous pig? What is it, a family lineage thing?
Well, at that point, I have no comment on that.
You got no comment on it? A kid is dead, dude. A kid is dead. I interviewed the family yesterday. They said he was the best kid in the world. That when he didn't come home that night, he had never, ever, ever done that before. Why is that?
Can't comment on that, sir.
So Robert Sobek Sr. murdered a kid. He got sued. They lost, of course, because the judges work against us. Then Robert Sobek Jr. murdered a kid, and you have no comment for it.
No comment on that.
Pathetic, bro. Pathetic. And now you guys have put an internet blocker in here. And if there's an internet blocker in here, I'm definitely suing you guys. And I'll FOIA that, Freedom of Information Act it. And if I find out, and I'll get a declaratory judgment against you, and you'll have to get rid of that internet blocker in here. And so, are you telling me now, right now out loud, that this is a limited public forum in this room?
At this point,
is that what you're saying?
Everything here, you can record. This is public access.
Oh, thanks for your permission, Captain.
Go inside in there.
Oh, levels of glass. I wish I could walk over there, but they put an internet blocker in here. So isn't there level 6 feet back?
Well, I'm not 100% certain.
Well, go take a look. You're a cop. Go investigate. Isn't it 6 feet back?
6 feet back.
Isn't there two?
You can just come back in. I wanted him to be informed that he cannot record into this room.
Oh no. Oh.
Back inside. You can stay out there and cause all the ruckus you want.
You're a tyrant and you're a pig, lady. You're just like the rest of them. Disgusting maggots. Each and every one of you are maggots. Disgusting pigs. I mean, remember, they defend murderous pigs. That's what they do. They murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr. and they covered it up. They can't get any information. It's a blue wall of silence. You can read the Mullen Commission on deletelaws.com. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Called the Mullen Commission. Now, these chicks here, these ladies here, that one right there, she's just like the rest. That one right there, she's just like the rest. She's a pig sucker. She's a pig sucker. That lady right there, let me get a video of her. That lady right there is a pig sucker. She, when you talk about, I mean, take a look at this. They got a blue stripe wreath. They have a blue striped wreath. Unbelievable. And she said she just wanted Trooper Piggy Sy to come out here and tell me that I'm not allowed to film past the glass. If you can see, that glass is tinted, then they have another layer of tinted glass. And right now, they're back there laughing, oh, this is so funny. I'm here because these pigs murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr. That's what I'm doing here right now, trying to find some answers. But of course, it's a blue wall of silence. It's a blue wall of silence. We've allowed these pigs to take our rights. We've allowed them to do this to us under the guise of safety and security, and the only time you feel unsafe is when the only fear you have are these jackboot thug pigs. Look at this place. They've created like a fortress here. I mean, take a look at this place. There's your money right there, folks. You want to know why Philadelphia is such a shithole? All the money goes into the pigs. All the money goes into the pigs. Look at this pig shack. Look at this place. What a disgusting, oppressive prison. I mean, look at this. They even have bars on the office. That jackboot thug pig comes out there. Oh, I'm gonna find out. I want to find out if they put an internet blocker inside of there. And look, they don't have the American flag up there. Not by itself. They also have the pig flag up there. I actually, Scott, I am in Philadelphia, but thanks, I appreciate it. Does that say Pennsylvania State Police? Is that what that says? That does say that, doesn't it? That's what it says, right? Just checking. I wasn't sure. I mean, this is the Pennsylvania State Police pig shack, isn't it? It is the pig shack. So let's see how far I can step inside here before mean, you guys didn't think you'd get any blowback from murdering that kid? You guys didn't think anybody'd come in here? You thought you would murder Anthony and nobody would come in and say it would just blow by? You could murder jackboot thug frickin' pigs. Jackboot thug pigs. Absolute jackboot thug pigs. I can't wait to sue this department. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I really hope that the Allegrinis follow through with some legal action against Robert Sobek Jr. Let me show you Robert Sobek Jr. This is the reason why I'm here right now. So this pig right here, his name's Robert Sobek Jr. This pig murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr. I want you guys to go to the YouTube page, Anthony Allegrini Jr. His aunt and his mother set up a YouTube page for him called Anthony Allegrini Jr. If you don't mind crying your eyes out when you look at this kid who was a beautiful young man, and you guys don't seem to understand. It's just so unbelievable to me. It's so unbelievable to me that pigs are allowed to murder our children, murder our family members, and then they could create this blue wall of silence where they don't have to answer any questions. Did they think that nobody would come? Did you actually think that? Did you really think nobody would show up? Did you really think that? Remember, Robert Sobek, Anthony Allegrini Jr., go to his YouTube page. You spelled it correctly, Anthony Allegrini Jr. That's the correct spelling. Go to his YouTube page. Go to About Anthony Allegrini on Instagram. Go to This Is Anthony Allegrini on Instagram and take a look at this kid. I interviewed his parents yesterday for over an hour, and let me tell you what happened. They said that he was the best kid that they knew, period. Like, he was the best kid they knew, bar none. The best human being that they knew, bar none. And when he didn't come home at 5 o'clock in the morning and his girlfriend called his parents and said, hey, Anthony's not home right now, his parents said, he's never, ever, ever done that before. Anthony Allegrini Jr., his behavior was 100% predictable. You could have set a clock to this kid. He worked 3 jobs, bought his own car, paid for his own car, had a detailing car business, worked out every day, played hockey. He was 18 years old. And for the love of God, when do the rest of the sheeple stand up and realize this is a dog shit organization? This organization is crap. So when they set up this shit right here, just so you know, they set these things up, but so there's the sign right here. Here's the sign. Here's the sign right here. It says, no trespassing, authorized personnel only. So they create this magical line right here that you can't go by. Vehicle State Police. And then I got some pig over there looking at me. I hope you have the worst day ever. Jackboot thug pig. Give me standing. Come give me standing. Come and give me standing. Give me the right. Put it on me so that I can hold you accountable. Jackboot thug pigs. Put it on me. Let me list you in the next lawsuit. Let me list you, you filthy pig. Jackboot thug pigs. And the thing is these Pennsylvania State Police, they're so used to the cops sucking here. They're so used to people sucking them off. They're so used to it. That's what they're used to. They're used to. They're used to it. Can you tell me about Anthony Allegrini Jr.? Yeah. Robert Sobek Jr., who murdered him? Oh, no. Did you know his father murdered somebody in 1994 named Golson? Did you know that? Did you know about that, Piggy? Did you know about that? Not sure if you knew about that. Just asking. I just want to find out if anybody has any information. How you doing, Trooper? Can you give me some information about Robert Sobek Jr., who murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr.?
Can you step away from our area, please?
No, I can stand right here all I want. You don't tell me what to do.
You can't film our press.
Oh, I can film you anywhere that's a public space, sir. If you want to try me, I'd love to sue you. I would love to. I can't stand pigs. This is what I do for a living.
Okay. So
I can be here, and you can't tell me what to do. You're not my daddy.
Okay, great.
You have any information about Robert Sobek Jr., who murdered Anthony Allegrini? Right. They don't want to answer any questions. It's real easy to hide the murder. It's real easy to hide the murder. It's a lot harder to answer questions about the murder. It's a lot harder to answer questions. The cop came out and said he already knew who I was. Of course you do. Of course you do, because people don't file litigation. Just so you guys know, those jackboot thug pigs in Vegas, when I told them I'm going to sue your ass for arresting me, you know what they all said? All three of them said, I've been sued before. I've been sued before. We looked them up. None of them have ever been sued, ever. They've never been sued. Never. They've never been sued. It's just so horrifically bad. Like the agency that calls themselves law enforcers is absolutely the worst. As soon as we changed, they go to peace officer standards and training post, or they go to CLEAT where they sign a certificate to be a peace officer. And then as soon as they graduate from peace officer school, they magically become a law enforcer. I wonder why that is. I wonder how that is. How do you become a law enforcer when you started off going to peace officer standards and training? How's that happen? I'm just curious. I just want to know. Am I allowed to ask these questions? How do you become a law enforcer when you go to peace officer school? How's that possible? Oh, because then you get to wear that skull with the thin blue line through it, and you're an enforcer now. You are a jackboot thug pig. You joined a murderous organization that has a blue wall of silence that you can read all about in the 1994 Mullen Commission. It's available on deletelaws.com for free. The Mullen Commission reads like a second grader can read it. I just want to see if any of these pigs are going to answer any questions. Are any of you guys going to answer any questions about Anthony Allegrini Jr.? Is anybody going to answer any questions? Is the public going to get any transparency at all? Sir, excuse me. Is the public going to get any transparency about the murder of Anthony Allegrini Jr.? I'm just wondering. You got a nice haircut there, bud. That pig tried to tell me I can't stand. So I was just talking to Joe Cool on the phone earlier, Joe Cool out of Chicago, and we were talking back and forth, and I explained that the last true stand of freedom is the public spaces that the pigs try to tell you can't stand on, that the pigs try to say that you can't stand there. That's what's happening in our country. See, it's in your trifold. Everything I'm telling you, everything that I'm saying, every word I'm saying right now is in your trifold. It's in your trifold. Everything that I'm teaching you right now is in your trifold. You're still on paid leave? Can you answer some questions for us? There's thousands of people watching.
I don't have to yell.
Oh, go ahead. More than willing to hear you out, sir.
Talk to you over here.
I'm going to stand right here on a public space.
That's fine.
So
right over here. Right over
don't
here.
stand behind me. Don't stand behind me.
Come over here, sir.
I'm not going where you tell me to stand.
Okay. I'm going to tell you this.
I'm going to stand wherever I want. And if you arrest me, I will sue your ass, bro.
Right.
I'm not the guy. I'm not impeding. No, I'm not impeding. I'm standing on the side. Don't lie, pig. Don't lie, pig. There's a median right here. I'm standing between the median, pig. Don't tell me, pig. No, it's not. This is a parking lot. Listen, I'm a constitutional law scholar. You're a dunce cap pig. You are a dumb pig.
What questions would you like?
I want you to know what's happening with Robert Sobek Jr.
If you have any questions,
have you charged him with murder?
Would you like me
Answer the question.
Would you like me to speak?
Any day you came out here lying.
Like really
this pig came out here lying. Oh, am I allowed not to be loud? Is it against the law for me to be loud? I can scream in your face if I want.
That's fine.
I can do anything I want.
Okay.
I'm a journalist with thousands of videos. Oh, it's not?
That's not correct.
Under what? What, under Title 34? What are you talking about? I've read the laws before I came here.
Okay.
Tell me what law I'm violating.
Have any questions?
I'm asking you now. You won't
have
answer
any
it.
questions?
Where's Robert Sobek Jr.?
If you have any
Where
questions.
is I'm asking. Answer it.
Okay, sir.
Sir, we answer the question, please. You can't limit my speech.
You don't want to have a conversation.
Where is Robert Sobek?
I'm not going to be yelling back and
Okay,
forward.
I'll stop yelling.
Okay.
Where is Robert Sobek Jr.? Where's Robert Sobek Jr.?
Me personally, I don't know. I'm not going to make any contact. However, if you want a phone number of somebody that can contact you,
okay,
I'll be fine to just take that number.
I'll be happy.
Or I can give it to you.
Okay, what's the number? What's the number, sir?
I'll be right back and I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
problem.
Appreciate your time.
See, this is a
I'm more than willing to have that conversation with you.
And then we'll just
name and badge number. Why are you getting out of your car?
12014.
12014. Is that what you just said? Okay. So this gentleman here, he's trying to intimidate me by getting out of his car, but I'm not intimidated. Just go do your job, pig. Just go do your job. See, I'm in the middle here where there's no traffic here.
Sir, I understand.
Okay. Well, don't get out of your car and try to intimidate me because I'm not afraid of you. No, eat my shorts, copper. I have no respect for you.
I'm gonna go get that card.
I'll wait for the card.
Sir?
The number I can call that's going to tell me where Robert Sobek Jr. is?
Hopefully they can assist.
Okay. You're not going to give me any more unlawful orders, are you? Because I won't follow them. You don't get to give me an unlawful order. You might want to look up constitutional law, bud. I have a right to be anywhere I want. There's a sign right here. You see this here? Hey, copper, you dumb copper. The sign's right here. Here's where the line is. As soon as the sign here, this is the line. That's the line. Look it up. I know laws inside now. I come here to do this. I want you to do something to me so I can sue you. I want the standing. That's what I want. Yeah, I'm gonna get over. Jackboot thug pigs. They put an internet blocker inside, so I had to come over here where I could actually talk to the pigs. They won't talk to me inside of the pig shack. They put an internet blocker in the pig shack. And they're so mad. The guy came over here, just so you guys know, and I've seen so many auditors. Do not move from your mark in a public space. You're allowed to scream and yell and hoot and holler. You can say anything you want in a public space. This is a parking lot. This is not a roadway. You can look it up. Look up Pennsylvania state law. Now, what he would try to arrest me on, so you know, is called Title 34 in Pennsylvania. Look up Title 34. So he can give me instructions that are lawful, and if I don't follow those lawful instructions according to Title 34, he can arrest me. That's a Pennsylvania specific law called Title 34. I already read it. So I understand that if I break the law, or if I'm in violation of the law, then he can give me a lawful order to make a maneuver to not break the law. So this is the real fight right now. Here's the fight. Every activist, every auditor, here's the fight. The fight is, are you going to move from your public space position? Joe Cool and I just talked about this on the phone 20 minutes ago. Are you going to allow the pigs to move you from your public space? You are allowed to be in a public space. The cops do not own every piece of real estate. And for the love of God, you don't run. When the cops come at you, you see what I do. I turn my back to him. I film him right here. And then I tell him, don't stand behind me. Just like they say to us. Just like Big Mike Audits, when he got on the phone, he told them, I'm asking the questions, you're doing the answering. I've tried to disseminate the information that I know. I've tried to teach as many people as I can. I give my products away for free to people. For free. I'll give it to you for nothing. If you don't have $9 to buy my trifold, I'll give it to you for free. How's that? That's how much I want you to know the law. Now they don't want me to stand here and talk to pigs as they come in, and they're gonna say, this is a road right of way. What are you talking about, dude? This is not a particular roadway, this is a parking lot, and it's a public parking lot, which means they cannot arrest me for standing in a public parking lot. And if they do, that would be an unreasonable seizure under my Fourth Amendment right, and it would be a violation of my Fourth Amendment right. I would sue this pig department. I would sue the pig that arrested me. I would sue any pig who watched him arrest me and didn't intervene. You've got to learn your rights. What's next? I can't stand on the grass? Now I can't stand on the grass? Am I not allowed to stand on the grass, pigs? Did they think they were gonna murder Anthony and nobody was gonna show up? Is that what they thought? Is that what they thought? They figured nobody was gonna come? They figured they'd do some murdering and nobody would show up? And you can see, I mean, look what they did. That pig came out and started lying to me. He came out and said I couldn't stand there. Says who? If you read the law, there's a sign right here. If you read the law, there's the sign. Now, you can't go past this sign right here. There, right here, see the sign where it says state police vehicles only? And it says trespassing right there? There's the line. You can't go past that line because there's postage sign of trespassing. You can't go past it, it's illegal. I'm allowed to question the pigs as they come through the line. I'm a member of the press, I'm allowed to question authorities. That's the whole point of press. The entire point, you guys want to answer some questions about Anthony Allegrini? Got some questions about Anthony Allegrini Jr. Do you know about Robert Sobek Jr. killing him? Do you know about his dad killing another kid in '94? Just wondering. I'm just wondering. I just want to ask some questions. And now they're going to try to criminalize asking questions. Go to Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s YouTube page and take a look at the kid. The parents last night, after talking to them, you know, I turned the cameras off. But let me just tell you what happened, because I don't hide anything. I turned the cameras off after the interview, after 70 minutes of talking to them about their dead kid, about the murdered kid by Robert Sobek Jr., who's still on paid leave. And the moment the cameras went off, the three of us broke down in tears, sobbing. It was horrible. And my language became atrocious, and I just saw red because they explained to me how quickly the cop murdered. And so here's the whole thing. Robert Sobek Jr. murdered Anthony Allegrini. His daddy, who became a judge later, his daddy, Robert Sobek Sr., murdered a kid in 1994 named Micus Golson, Micusgolson. Micus Golson's family sued the Pennsylvania State Police. You can look it up under Golson versus U.S., Golson versus U.S., and they lost. Isn't it amazing? So what happened in 1994? If you guys are unfamiliar, that's going to be the William Rehnquist Court. So the William Rehnquist Court, that I believe it's going to start in 1986. I think he only had an 11-year term, to 95. I'm pretty sure to 95. I'm pretty sure the Rehnquist Court was from 85 or 86 until 95. So the Rehnquist Court, so you know, was the most tyrannical police state, prison state, death state court there has been in the history of our country. The Rehnquist Court in 1994, what the Supreme Court does, the federal judges follow. That's how it works. That's how it works. And so the William Rehnquist Court, they had passed a series of Supreme Court cases that gave the cops our rights in the name of officer safety. Everything is in the name. As soon as Terry versus Ohio passed in 1968, you've got dozens and dozens of cases that are based on Terry. And what is Terry about? Terry is about officer safety first. The Supreme Court never, throughout the history of the Supreme Court, did we ever talk about officer safety until blacks were freed in 1954 and truly freed in 1964. And then all of a sudden, it became about officer safety. They passed more black laws. Apparently, I just want to ask some pigs some questions, and they tried to criminalize that. They tried to say I couldn't stand here. Unfortunately for that dumb pig, I read the laws already. I know the laws. He came out here and lied to me. He came out here and lied and said, I couldn't stand here. I'm blocking an active roadway. Actually, pig, you're watching. This is not an active roadway. This is a public parking lot. I can stand here all day, twice on Sunday. I can bring 50 people here and stand here. If you want to put cones here so the pigs can drive in, then you can do that. But you cannot tell me to move. Dumb shit. Dumb shit, pig. Why am I upset? I interviewed the parents of the dead kid last night. That's why I'm upset. I was up till 8 o'clock in the morning editing the video to show you guys that the parents are sitting there telling you. At one point, Anthony Sr. said to me this. He was the best human being I ever knew. That wherever he went, everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. If there was a fight, he would break it up. Want to hear the real kicker? He said that Anthony Allegrini Jr. had fights with his friends that cops weren't bad. He stuck up for the pigs. He backed the blue all the way. Well, you know what? You can look it up. Someone said, what happened? I can barely see it. Someone said, what happened? Look it up. Look it up. Go to Anthony Allegrini Jr., his YouTube page, subscribe to their YouTube page, and look it up. They murdered him. They murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr. They murdered him. And now all these pigs are covering it up. Can you answer some questions about Robert Allegrini? Answer some questions? Hey, pig watching. Doesn't look like I'm blocking the roadway. Looked like he drove right by. Back the blue till it happens to you. So I didn't get to finish what I was saying because I got distracted. Anthony Allegrini Sr. explained to me that he backed up cops. That when his friend said that cops weren't bad, Anthony Allegrini Jr. said, no, not all cops are bad. No, you guys are wrong. Had fights with his friends about cops being good or bad. And then a cop murdered him. Thanks for coming by, bro. I appreciate you coming by. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you coming by, brother. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody, for coming by. Thank you so much. I'm super grateful. I'm just wondering, hey, Piggy Sai, doesn't look like I'm blocking a roadway to me. Doesn't look like I'm blocking a roadway. Looks like there's a median right there, that there's a little driveway right there. There's a little driveway right there. So that means, Pig Sai, if you arrest me, that would be an unreasonable arrest. I would certainly sue you. Matter of fact, let me just give you Pigs a little scoreboard here. I've been arrested twice in the past 3 years. I've sued both times. Arrest me. Give me standing. I'll sue you too. I wish I could sue every single pig that violates my rights, but I have to pick and choose which pigs I'm going to sue. I mean, none of you guys should be talking to pigs. You guys should immediately invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You should be using my trifold. You should have a trifold in every car. You should have a trifold in every single car. This teaches you the case law that I preach about all the time. This teaches you what you need to know. You've got to learn the law. You've got to learn it. That pig, most auditors, most activists, when that pig came out there and said, you can't stand here, they would have moved. I'm not like most other people. I've read the law. I understand the law. I understand my constitutional rights. I will not be bullied by these jackboot thug pigs. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if they try to bully me, they're more than welcome to arrest me. I'm going to sue you. And I pray to God that eventually I get you fired. Because just so you know, just so you guys know, in Las Vegas, I'm suing that pig, Jesse Sandoval, who hurt my hand, who cut off the blood to my ulna. In my stipulations for me not to get paid, you fire him and remove his peace officer certificate, and I don't want a dime. I don't want a single dime. I want Jesse Sandoval fired, and I want his peace officer certificate revoked. That's what I want. Sandoval, I'm coming after your job, you jackboot thug pig. People ask you, why are you so angry? They murdered a kid. Why aren't you? Why aren't you as mad as me? How come you're not as mad as I am? Why aren't you as angry as I am that they murdered a kid? Look up Anthony Allegrini Jr. Go to his YouTube page, Anthony Allegrini Jr. Go to his Instagram page about Anthony Allegrini Jr. or this is Anthony Allegrini Jr. Look up the kid. Look him up. He was a far better man than me. I'm hostile, I'm aggressive, I'm abrasive. Anthony was none of those things. And then they create these fortresses for these pig shacks. And then they put internet blockers inside. So there's the sign right there. No trespassing. There's the sign. So that means I can't go right there. Now, if I was Floyd Wallace, I'd be ducking, diving, and dodging. I'd be rolling around here in my ski mask. But I'm not going to do that. Do you know about Robert Sobek Jr.? Robert Sobek Jr., the guy who murdered Anthony Allegrini? Nothing about him? Okay. It's okay. I mean, that's the telltale sign right there. I mean, take a look. Let me show you guys something. This tells you everything you need to know about this organization that calls themselves law enforcers. Please don't call them law enforcers. Please stop using that term. They're not law enforcers. They never have been law enforcers. Here's what tells you everything you need to know. Right below Old Glory, they got a pig flag. Is that an American flag? Does that flag represent anybody but pigs? That flag right there is inappropriate and shouldn't be hung there. We have Old Glory flying high. That's the only flag that we should be flying. You should not be flying a flag for pigs here. What is this about? This is about a gang symbol. This is about they're in a gang. Read about it. Read about the Mullen Commission. Read about it. Find out about it. Don't take my word for it. A 3-year study done by federal judges and federal prosecutors on police found that they have a thin blue wall of silence, that they have created gangs. That's the simple fact. And now they put an internet blocker in here. Let's file a FOIA. Let's file a FOIA right away and see if they put an internet blocker in the lobby. Oh, they have another gate over here, I see. They have another gate here so that they can hide, so that they don't have to answer questions. And of course, they have the same signs out here that say no trespassing. No trespassing. There's their little key code. Here's their little signage. I'll walk around the gate because it's right there. So I'll just walk over here. I'm not going to go around the gate. And then right there it says no trespassing. Okay. Okay. I'm here to ask questions, and I'm going to ask those questions. Did they think nobody would come? I mean, they literally thought nobody would come. They thought nobody would show up. Listen, to the Allegrinis, you have to sue these people. You have to sue them, and you got to chase down the policies that they violated when they murdered your son, Anthony Allegrini Jr. You have to sue them so that you can enforce the policy. The policy will not be enforced unless you sue them. And how do we know that? From Brandon Ellingson, Ellingson. Brandon Ellingson. His father, Craig Ellingson, sued that jackboot thug pig because he violated policy. Craig Ellingson was able to get Anthony Piercy fired because he had violated the Missouri State Police policy. That's how Craig Ellingson got Anthony Piercy fired. That's how it happened. So that's why they have got to, absolutely got to sue. Got to sue. They've got to sue. You go after the policy that he violated, and you say that because he violated policy, there's no transparency, and every single person who ever knew Anthony would testify that there's no way he tried to run down 2 cops. When I can't wait for you guys to see the interview, but when I said to the parents, I said, so tell me what happened next. The parents said, well, they told us that he hit 2 state troopers. I said, and what did you say? They both said, no, he didn't. I didn't even ask it. I said, what happened? They said, he said, the cops told them, oh, by the way, here's the kicker. This is the K barracks, letter K. K barracks of the Philadelphia Police Department. You know who's investigating Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s murder? The K barracks of Media City in Pennsylvania. So the K barracks from Philly murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr., and now the K barracks from Media City are investigating the murderers of Anthony Allegrini Jr. They're both K barracks. They're both Pennsylvania State Police. So the dad looked at him and said, so who's on my side here? And they said, oh, we are. Oh, you are? How are you? He said, well, we're independent. We're not part of that barracks over there. Oh, so they don't have the exact same barracks like this over there in Media City? I'll bet they do. I'll bet they do. They thought nobody was going to come. They thought nobody'd show. I mean, look, what an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. We don't want a pig flag flying. Do you guys know? Hey, for the good pigs, for the, I can't even say those 2 words together. Good cops, it just doesn't compute in my brain. For the men and women who signed up to make a difference and joined a Death Star of evil, for you guys, we don't like your blue stripe. We don't like you guys flying a pig flag. We don't like it. You're not in the military. You're not corporal. You're not sergeant. You're not lieutenant. You're a peace officer. You're a civilian. You are a peace officers corps in the United States of America. We don't want an army in our country called sergeant, lieutenant, captain, major. We don't want it. We don't want it. I just want to ask some pigs if they know about Anthony Allegrini Jr. and if they've taken a look at the murder by Robert Sobeck Jr. And then his daddy, Robert Sobeck Sr., also murdered a kid in 1994. And then Robert Sobeck Sr., after he beat the federal civil rights case, he then became a judge. I wonder how he ruled. I would love somebody who's a real internet tick, to dig into the cases of Robert Sobeck Sr. and see how many cases he heard that had to do with police misconduct or police brutality, and Robert Sobeck Sr. said, not guilty. The cops are not guilty. I wonder how many cases Robert Sobeck Sr. heard about police brutality or police misconduct and said, case dismissed. That's a curious thing to look at, isn't it? They put an internet blocker in the lobby. They put an internet blocker in the lobby. Jackboot thug pigs. Jackboot thug pigs. And just so you guys know, the only thing that keeps you safe, the only way that you use this trifold, the only way I've taught to use this trifold is to use your camera with the trifold. Your trifold with the camera, make it so that you are impenetrable. They can arrest you. You can beat the rap, but not the ride. You're still gonna have to get arrested, and they're still gonna put the torture cuffs on you and all those things. But if you have it on camera, and if you've invoked your rights properly, then you should be able to beat the rap, and you should be able to sue that jackboot thug pig. You should be able to sue him. I mean, I keep telling you guys this. Why do you think I create all these tools? Why do you think I do it? I create the tools that I give away for free so that people will know their rights, invoke their rights, and fight back. We have to fight back through peace, assembly, petition, press. That's how we fight back. That's how we fight back. We use our First Amendment right to fight back. Do not break the law. Do not fight police. Do not go to violence. Do not. If these cops arrest me, I'll let them. They're not half the man I am. I could crush them like a grape. That's not what it's about. It's about me following the law. Remember, 2019's Nivens versus Bartlett out of Alaska, when it got to the Supreme Court said, oh, well, Nivens resisted arrest. And they found in the favor of Bartlett because Nivens resisted arrest. That's how much the highest level of judges want you to comply to orders of pigs. So I read the case. I know what it said. I listened to the oral arguments. I know what it says. Because Nivens resisted arrest, they found in the favor of Bartlett and infringes on all of our rights now. Listen, and listen well. Every single person here has to have my trifold in your car. As soon as the cop pulls you over, don't ask him, why'd you pull me over? Or he says, do you know why I pulled you over? He says, you violated section 246.819. Don't do that. Invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent immediately. How you doing, trooper? Just asking some questions here. Just asking some questions about Robert Sobek Jr., about the murder of Anthony Allegrini. No, I'm asking you questions, trooper. Can you ask? Okay. Now see, they got their little PIN code right here, so he has to roll down the window to put his PIN code in there, but he's afraid to roll down the window because people will see him. He's afraid to roll down the window. Just roll down the window. Nobody's going to attack you, bro. I'm not going to attack you, dude. I'm a nationally known journalist, dude. I'm not going to attack you. You can roll your window down, not be scared, copper. I just want to know if you know that Robert's dad killed somebody. Do you know that Robert Sobek Jr., who murdered Anthony Allegrini, do you know that his dad murdered somebody too? Did you know that? Did you know they're a murderous pig family? Did you know that? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I'm asking a question. That's all I'm doing. I'm just here questioning. Am I allowed to ask the cops questions? Have we made it so cops are now a protected class that you can't ask any cops questions? Why can't I ask them a question? I'm just asking a question. That's all I'm doing. I can tell you now, nobody's going to go to violence. I'm not recording your box either, bro. I don't care what your damn code is to get in. Believe me, I don't want the code because there's trespassing signs right here. And if I violate those trespassing signs, then I've broken the law, and I won't do that. At least there's no blue striped flag on the side of his flag. At least it's Old Glory and not a blue striped flag. Where are you going? Where are you going? Can you just answer, can you answer one question, sir? Can you ask her one, please? He's getting his car closer to the box. He's afraid I'm gonna see their code. How many people want to break into the Pennsylvania State Police Department? 0. How many people want that code? Can you just answer the question? Do you know that Robert Sobek Jr. killed a kid and his dad killed a kid? Did you know that?
Okay.
I'm just asking, sir. It's just a question. Can you answer the question, sir? I don't want to know your code, dude. No one wants to break into your pig shack. No one wants to come in here. Trust me. Nobody's trying to break into the pig department. I guarantee it. Anybody, put a 1 in the chat if you do not want to break into the pig department. Put a 1 in the chat if you do not want to break into the pig department. 1 for me. I don't want to break into the pig department. Doesn't sound like very much fun to me. I don't want to hang out with these guys. Look at them. This is the blue wall of silence. You're looking at it. There's the blue wall of silence right there. This man right here represents the blue wall of silence. He represents the blue wall of silence right there. There it is. And hey, Piggy's watching. You can see on camera, not trying to get your code, just asking questions. I'm a member of the press. I have a right to ask you questions. I'm just here asking questions about Anthony Allegrini Jr. I just want to know if the rest of the cops who work here know that he murdered somebody and that his daddy murdered somebody. Murderous father, murderous son, both have a badge. Both of those guys killed somebody wrongly. Robert Sobek Sr. was sued. Robert Sobek Jr. will be sued, I'm sure. I'm just wondering. if the rest of the pigs know, if anybody's going to answer any questions. That's all I'm asking. I mean, the Allegrinis can't get any answers. I sat down with them last night for an hour. I mean, I was there for 2 hours. I spent an hour and 73 minutes interviewing them. They can't get any answers. They can't get a single answer. This pig shack has locked itself down. They've all closed ranks. Nobody's going to say anything that Robert Sobek Sr. murdered a kid, Robert Sobek Jr. murdered a kid. Just put that together. Robert Sobek Sr. murdered a kid in 94. Robert Sobek Jr. married a kid in 2023. That's 30 years later, right? Did I say 20 earlier? 94, 2004, 2014, 2023. 29 years later, his kid murders an innocent kid. So what kind of upbringing did Robert Sobek... Here, let's take a look at his picture right here. Does he look like a good guy to you? Does he look like a good person to you? Does Robert Sobek, does that look like someone that you think is a protector and server? Or does he look like a thug? Does he look like a dark-eyed thug? That's Robert Sobek Jr. He murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr., shot him and said he failed to yield. This dumb pig said that Anthony Allegrini tried to run them down. His parents said not a chance in hell. There's no chance. He backed the blue. Anthony Allegrini Jr. backed the blue. Sorry if you don't like it. He's free to back the blue. That's an American thing. You're allowed to back the blue if you want. You're a moron if you do. But he did. He backed him up. He argued with his friends. The cops weren't all bad. He's dead now because the pig killed him. And the pig said that he tried to run them down. The pig literally said he had injuries as he pointed his gun at the passerbyers and said, "What are you doing here?" After he murdered him. Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s family's in the chat. There's their YouTube page. I highly recommend everybody subscribes because this family, the mainstream media, when they did a report about it, they made it sound like Anthony Allegrini Jr. was part of the street racing crew, that he had organized the street racing crew. All the cops cared about was the street racing. They didn't even bring it up in the press conference until one of the reporters said, "Hey, wait a minute. Before you close the press conference, what about the kid that was murdered?" "Oh, that kid." Robert Sobek Jr. murdered him. His dad, Robert Sobek Sr., murdered a kid as well. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Let me be honest. We're not the same. Everybody's different. I'm not Anthony Allegrini Jr. I couldn't do what he did. I'm not you. I can't do what you do. I can't do the job you do. I can't raise your children. I don't have any kids. I don't have a wife. So they can't hurt me. All they can do is try to put me in a dungeon and intimidate me and all that crap. But it won't work. I'm impenetrable because my mind is strong. I don't break. Don't do what I do. Invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You pull your trifold down and you don't get in a back and forth with pigs. You invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent and you don't answer any questions. And you tell them, I'm not going to answer any questions because of the way police are in America. I've invoked my Fifth Amendment right. You have no more right to ask me questions. If you continue to question me after I've invoked my clearly established Fifth Amendment right since 1793, I will sue you under a federal civil rights lawsuit. And then you follow through, just like I do. And you sue them. You pigs figured it out yet? I got some questions about Anthony Allegrini Jr. Can somebody answer some questions for me, please, sir? I got some questions, sir, about Anthony Allegrini Jr. About Robert Sobek Jr., sir. Questions. Do you know you're a part of the same troop that murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr.? Do you know that? Have you looked up Anthony Allegrini Jr.? Have you seen the kind of person he was? Do you know that he supported police? Do you know that? Do you know Anthony Allegrini Jr. supported police? Did you know that? You guys don't understand. I was up till 8 in the morning editing this interview with this family, and I had to watch it again. And as I did the edit last night, I cried the entire night. I just sat there. I look like shit today. My eyes are all swelled shut because I just sat there last night and cried and cried and cried and cried. And then I had to go to Anthony Allegrini's Instagram page to add pictures to the edit. And so every time I'd go pull a picture, there'd be there'd be another video or another picture of what a wonderful young man Anthony Allegrini Jr. was. There'd be another video of him dancing. There'd be another video of him working out. There'd be another video of him with his girlfriend. There'd be another video of him with his friends. There'd be another video of him playing hockey. And I sat there last night and I cried and cried until 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I was like, I gotta pull this together. I gotta go over here and I gotta let these pigs know that his death is not gonna go unchecked. That I pray to God the Allegrinis sue these jackboot thug pigs, because you got to chase down the policies they violated through the federal civil rights lawsuit. That's how you get this pig fired. That's what Craig Ellingson did for Brandon Ellingson, and that's what the Allegrinis need to do. And as more people come on, you know that they're pigs. Pigs are watching. Do you know about Anthony Allegrini Jr.? You can hate me all you want, I hate you back. But Anthony Allegrini Jr. didn't hate you. His family didn't hate you. They supported you pigs. There was one point in the interview last night where I said, oh, so you're nothing like me. You don't hate the pigs. And the mom of Anthony Allegrini Jr. laughed and said, no, we don't. The fudge sucker. That pig tried to come out here and say I couldn't stand here. He supported pigs. He was a pig backer. He didn't know. He didn't know. They had no idea. When I asked the family, I said, when you went to the murder scene where your kid was murdered, I said, do you have any video footage of there? And the mom and the dad said, we didn't know what we know now, Chille. We didn't know. We didn't know that they would try to cover up everything. We didn't know. We had no idea. Nobody will answer any questions. This is the same treatment the Allegrinis got. They couldn't get any questions answered. They couldn't get anything answered. They couldn't get anything answered. So let me just speak on it because it has to be said. Anthony Allegrini Jr., I believe, from my position, from the videos I've watched and the family that I've talked to, I believe he was probably getting conflicting reports. That's what I think. I think one cop was telling him to get out of here like everybody was exiting the street racing, and then the other cop was telling him stop, stop, stop. That's what I believe to be true. I don't know if that's true. That's what I think is true, because Anthony Allegrini, had a cop told him to stop, he would have stopped. He respected police. He respected authority. You can check his Snapchat. It clearly shows that he wasn't a street racer. He was there filming the street racers like thousands of other kids do. And then I think, from my perspective here, he was getting conflicting reports. Stay, go. He kept going at 2 miles an hour. He didn't yield. And the cop said, oh, he hit me, and shot him right in the chest. Shot him square in the chest from 10 inches away from his car. 10 inches away from his windshield. He shot an 18-year-old kid, Robert Sobek Jr. did. The same way his dad murdered a kid in 94. Was it 92 and then the case got there in 94? Or was it 93 and the case got there in 94? I'm not sure. Unless you've done what I do thousands of times, don't do what I do. Do not do this. You'll go to jail. You'll get in trouble. You don't know your rights. You don't understand it properly. Don't do this. Unless you don't have a wife, you don't have a kid, you don't got family, you don't have a significant other that they can arrest and charge with crimes. You have to be able to be a free razor blade. You got to be able to cut like a knife through the bureaucracy and garbage. You got to be willing to go to jail. And I don't want you guys to go to jail. It's a frickin' dungeon system. It's horrifically bad. What's up, P-Rex? How you doing, buddy? Jackboot Thug Pig. Put it in there, everybody. Put JBTP. Jackboot Thug Pig. Type it in. JBTP. Hashtag JBTP. Jackboot Thug Pig. So don't do what I do. Don't have the back and forth. Don't disagree and argue and fight with the police, because they're just going to arrest you. You immediately invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Don't talk to that jackboot thug pig. Get everything on video, and if you have it on video, I'll help you file your federal civil rights lawsuit. I have lawyers in every different state. I don't. I still need a lawyer in Oklahoma. I'm still looking for an attorney in Oklahoma. I need a bar card attorney in Oklahoma for a kid there who got his jaw broken by the pigs. I'm trying to help this kid, but remember, I'm a member of the press. What I can do is limited. I'm looking for a bar card holder in the state of Oklahoma who will help represent this kid who they attacked him and put him in a torture chair and broke his jaw in prison, in jail. I need somebody who will help this kid who has a bar card, because I have all the evidence, but I can't do what I want to do because I'm not a resident of Oklahoma with a bar card. I want to help him. My help is limited. If you're watching this, brother, my help I can do for you is limited. I'm doing everything I can to help you. I haven't aired his video yet, but I will. I have the video of him in prison where they held him down and broke his jaw with pressure. They didn't punch him and break his jaw. They broke his jaw by squeezing his face until his jaw broke. He heard it. I need a bar card member in Oklahoma to help this kid. When you get the paperwork, you're gonna see you got a smack dab home run lawsuit. You got a smack dab home run lawsuit. Is that Right Ways Ministries? I can't see it. Is that Right Way Ministries? A good friend of mine? I can't see. Your text was all jumbled. I'm trying to help this kid. My help, I can only do so much. You guys got to understand something. I can connect you with lawyers. I can connect you with people, but I can't do your legal lawsuits. I can't do all your paperwork. I'm limited. Different states have already tried to prosecute me for practicing law without a license. I can't help you in that way. What I can do is I can expose your case. I could ask the audience to help me find an Oklahoma bar card member, but I can't do everything for you. I can't. If you give me some room, you give me some permission slips to talk to your lawyer, to talk to your doctors, to talk to your people, and then I can get sworn affidavits from them in the proper format so that it's legal, so that you can file litigation with them when we find the bar card holder in Oklahoma. I need a bar card holder in Oklahoma. I need to help this kid. You have no idea what he's been through. You have no idea what they've done to him. Just so you know, the video when it comes out is age restricted and limited. So I'm gonna first air the audio, and then I'm gonna have right after it, because the audio is not limited, but then after that, I'm gonna show you guys the prison video where they hold him down and break his jaw. Do you understand that? They held him down, and 4 guys got on top of him, choking him, and broke his jaw. They didn't strike him. There was no striking. It was just the weight. So that's called a schematic stroke. You guys ever heard of that before? So when people are held down by the pigs and they put their body weight on top of him, multiple pressure points on top of a person cause a schematic stroke. And that's where when they stick their knee in your thigh, they put your knee in your back, they put your knee in your neck. What happens is the blood pools in those areas and it's trying to get oxygen there so badly. It's trying to get oxygen to where they're putting the pressure point down on your elbow. And then what happens is when you have enough of those pressure points, your body has a stroke because there's not enough blood for the brain. That's what holding people down with 10 people does. It causes a schematic stroke. These jackboot thug pigs are gonna hide. No one's gonna answer a single question. It just infuriates me. Nobody's gonna answer a single question. You're a part of this. You jackboot thug pig watching this, you're a part of this. You're part of hiding Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s murder. You're a part of covering up for Robert Sobek Jr. and his murderous pig father, Robert Sobek Sr. You're a part of it. You are a part of this organization that murders people and hides it. You're a part of it. You don't get a pass. People are like, why are you so mean to pigs, Chille? Take a look. Take a look. Did you not see? The pig came out here and tried to dominate me, tried to give me unlawful orders. He tried to tell me I couldn't stand in a public parking lot. F you, pig. I can stand in a public parking lot. And if you arrest me, it will be unreasonable. And then I pray to God that instead of the state or the city or the county paying me out, I don't want a dime. I want you fired. That's what I want. I want another pig off the force. Wherever I go, pigs get fired, pigs resign. Wherever I go. Doesn't matter where I go, the pigs resign and pigs get fired. As soon as I come and I show up with my camera, pigs get fired. That's what happens. Oh, they resign. I forgot. The pigs resign when I show up. Why are you resigning? Because right after I left Ironton, McKnight violated someone else's rights, and then he sued him, and then the chief of police resigned. Of course she resigned. She was a jackboot thug pig. She was an enabler of the other pigs. Alcoholic, drunk. And just so you guys know, the statistics coming out right now is that up to 60% of pigs are alcoholics. Up to 6 out of 10. That's 3 out of 5 pigs are alcoholics. That's a lot of alcoholism. And why do you think that is? Why do you think so many of these pigs are alcoholics? Because they cover up the murder of Anthony Allegrini Jr. That's why. They cover up the murder. That's why. That's why. Don't get murdered by pigs. Your hands go to a touchdown position so that you make little goal poles with each arm. The cop comes up, you slide your trifold out, you immediately invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent as you're filming. You gotta be filming. As you're filming, hands are up like this. Do not put your hands below the steering wheel. You guys saw in my rental car, I've got my license, registration, proof of insurance up in my visor. I got my trifold right there. The moment that the pigs interact with me, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And then they can't question me anymore. You saw me go through that DUI checkpoint. As soon as I said I invoked my Fifth Amendment right, they couldn't question me anymore. And that pig Cy, he tried to walk over here and tell me I had to move. Come stand over here. Hey, pig Cy watching. You can arrest me if you want and face the federal civil rights lawsuit because you don't have a right to tell me I have to move from a public space, bro. Pig. Frickin' pig. I don't like pigs. And this is the reason why. I can't get any questions answered. They're lying jackboot thug pigs. Am I not allowed to stand in the grass? Don't the people pay for this? The people pay for this, right? Am I not allowed to stand here? How come I'm not allowed to stand here? You guys own the grass too? You take dominion over every space? How come I can't stand here? So after this, I'm gonna head over to the freeway point where Anthony Allegrini Jr. was murdered on the street by Robert Sobek Jr. His father, Robert Sobek Sr., both Robert Sobek Sr. and Robert Sobek Jr. have murdered people. Robert Sobek Sr. got sued. I pray to God that Allegrini sue Robert Sobek Jr. That's what I hope happens. If it doesn't make you mad, you don't care. If it doesn't make you mad, how many people have gone over and subscribed to Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s YouTube page? How many people have gone over there and subscribed and dropped a couple comments of support? How many people have gone over and take a look at this kid? How many of Team DLZ have gone over to Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s YouTube page and dropped some comments and given some likes and tried to prop up that YouTube page? How many of you have done it? If it was you, or it was your son or your daughter, and there was some guy outside the police station who murdered your kid, and he said, hey, can you go over to his YouTube page and just subscribe and like and drop a comment? They lost their kid. You know, I'm not gonna break down here. I'm not gonna cry here. I'm gonna keep my emotions in check here. You'll see the interview. When I talked to the dad about his kid, he said the word gone has a new meaning now. He said gone to him means gone forever. And he said every morning when he wakes up, the moment he touches the alarm clock, it's like a sledgehammer hits him right in the face. Cop killed your kid. Your son's dead. He's never coming home. And this was a man who supported police. This was a man whose son supported the police. They had no problems with cops. Middle class, white family from Pennsylvania, great kid. I mean, the part that really got me that I was editing last night, because you have to edit every frame. I did about 1,000 cuts last night. The part that really got me last night was when the dad said, I said this earlier, but I'll say it again. When the dad said, when his girlfriend called and said that Anthony wasn't home from the gym, he said, my son has never, ever, ever done anything like that. So that means the son's behavior was 100% predictable. And then when they said that he ran over 2 state troopers, the mom and dad said, no, he didn't. No, he didn't. You're making that up. That's not true. That's not true. And then they never let them see the body. They didn't see the body for 5 days. And they gave the medical examiner a pass, but I don't. The medical examiner should have said, come down here. I would have gone down there anyway and said, I want to see the kid. They would have had to arrest me for trespassing because I want to see my kid's body. I'd want to make sure it was my kid. I would want to make sure it's my kid. That's what I'd do. Jackboot thug pigs. Nobody will answer any questions. I'll be honest, I'm upset. I'm allowed to be upset. I'm allowed to be affected by other human beings. I'm allowed to be affected and feel the emotions I feel. I'm allowed to cry. I'm allowed to scream. I'm allowed to be angry. I'm allowed to be distraught. I'm allowed to feel the feelings that I feel, and I'm justified in my feelings. And I don't care what anybody says or thinks about me. You guys have no idea. I just don't care. You only get one life, and this one's mine. I'm living it exactly how I want. I'm doing exactly what I want with my life. And anybody's like, oh, this, oh, that. Just follow my journey, peanut thrower from the peanut gallery, because I'm going to keep doing whatever I want because I'm free. And I'll do what I want because I'm free. You can't take away my freedom because you'll have to kill me first. I will be free or you'll kill me because I will not have my freedom stripped from me. We only get so many freedoms. We only get so many freedoms. Got a jackboot thug pig over here. Maybe this jackboot thug pig will answer some questions. Let's see if this jackboot thug pig, maybe this guy will answer a couple questions. We'll see about that. Oh, he sees me coming. He's driving away. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. He's driving away. Of course you are. Of course you are. Of course he's driving away. He was sitting at the end of the parking lot watching me, and then he just decided to drive away. Of course. Now, trying to get out as quick as he can. Doesn't want me to walk up to his window. So terrified of the camera. So terrified of the camera. There he goes. There he goes. There he goes. There you go, piggy. Oh, there's another pig. Let me see if he'll answer some questions. Did you know about Anthony Allegrini Jr.? Did you know about Anthony Allegrini Jr.? Anybody? So now they're using this side. They're using this side of the gate. They're using this side of the gate so that I can't ask them questions. They're exiting on this side. They're coming over to this side. Did they think nobody was going to show up? Is that what you thought? You thought you'd murder an 18-year-old kid, an innocent 18-year-old kid who supported you pigs, and you think nobody would show up? I mean, look at this. Even the emblem, even the insignia here, it's got a blue stripe around it. They just can't help but flash their gang symbol. They just can't help. What's up, Gloria? What's up, Chevy? David, how are you, buddy? Listen, don't do what I do. It won't work out like you think it will. You got to invoke your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent right away. Don't do what I do. You won't be able to do what I do. You'll just end up going to jail. Some of you can do it. Some of you will be able to pull it off, maybe even better than I can do it. But the majority of you will get tongue-tied, you'll get nervous, and you'll go to jail. So remember, I can't even do basic math when I'm live and there's hundreds of people watching. I know case law like the back of my hand. I studied the Pennsylvania state laws before I came here, so I would know about Title 34. But I can't even do basic math when I'm on a live stream and there's hundreds of people watching because my brain won't function properly. So when you get in front of these jackboot thug pigs, if you haven't invoked your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, then you're going to end up stepping over your tongue and going to prison. And it's a dungeon once you go. It's a dungeon. It's a dungeon. I mean, it's a dungeon. What's up, Techno? How are you doing? Teshu, how are you? Press with Rancor. What's going on? I want everybody to go to Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s YouTube page. I want everybody to subscribe and drop a comment that you support this kid. Even though he backed the blue, we can have that argument. I would love for Anthony Allegrini Jr. to be alive and for he and I to be able to argue that you should not support law enforcement. You don't enforce. These guys turn themselves into law enforcement right after they graduate from peace officer standards and training. I would love to have that argument with Anthony Allegrini Jr. And from all the videos and pictures I've seen of him, he would have been respectful and kind, and he would have said, Chille, calm down, man. We're just talking. He would have asked me to calm down. He would have said, Chille, calm down, dude. Not all cops are bad. Anthony, I would love to have that conversation with you someday, brother. I hope I get to meet you on the other side and we get to have that talk. I'd love to have that debate with him if he was alive. If he was alive, we could debate it. We could talk about it. But he's not. He's dead. And these pigs here are covering up his murder. There's pigs in here who know what happened. You know, if you go to any corner street where it's a poor neighborhood and it's gang infested and there's lots of bad entities going on in there, and, you know, little John gets killed in that area, the girl skipping rope on the corner, she knows who killed him. Everybody knows who kills him. When you go to a neighborhood that is poor, that doesn't have any money, and someone gets murdered, everybody in the neighborhood knows who killed him. Cops may never figure it out, but everybody there knows who killed him. I told you. The kids on the corner playing say, oh, John, he got killed by so-and-so. And then the guy who owns the corner deli market, oh, John, yeah, he had a beef with this other guy. That guy killed him. Everybody knows who killed John. Everybody knows that Robert Sobek Jr. was an unstable pig who murdered Anthony Allegrini, and they're all staying quiet. That's the fact, Jack. Every one of them know. They all know. You can see, look, here, I mean, I hate to show how shitty I look, but do you see my eyes? That's what your eyes look like when you cry all night. That's what your eyes look like. Your eyes, you see the bags under my eyes? I look like shit. I was up till 8 o'clock in the morning editing a murder video from the parents who explained the murder. See the bags under my eyes? That's what happens when you cry all night. I can't help it. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't. I sat there and cried all night. I woke up pissed off. They know about Robert Sobek Jr. These pigs know about Robert Sobek Jr. They know about him. They know Robert Sobek Jr. was unstable. They know about his murderous father, Robert Sobek Sr., and they all hold the line on the blue wall of silence. They all hold the line. Now here comes another piggy in the parking lot, but he didn't want to pull in. All black tinted windows. Here he is. Another piggy. He's ducking. There's nobody even in the window. He can't even see anybody. He ducked completely. Did you see that? Did you see that? He ducked all the way down. You couldn't even see anybody in the driver's seat. They know about Robert Sobek Sr. People know that Micus Golson, M-I-C-U-S, Golson, G-O-L-S-O-N, Golson versus United States. They know that Micus Golson was murdered by Robert Sobek Sr. They know it. They know that Robert Sobek Jr., who murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr., they know he was unstable. They know he was a bad cop. They all know it. All of them know it. Jack Blue Thug pigs. Pigs. There's a trophy. You see the trophy? Look. There's a trophy in the window. The cops win awards for killing you. They win awards for arresting you. They get plaques and promotions and accolades. They have banquets and parties. Remember when you were a kid, you'd go to the pizza party? The cops get pizza parties when they murder you. The cops have celebrations when they murder you. When a cop murders someone, they get promoted within the next 12 months. It's across the country. There's plenty of studies on it. Sorry I look like hell, but I'm human and I was going through it last night. So I'm a human being. I'm flawed, I'm imperfect, I'm all these things. But what I do, I got my license, my registration, and proof of insurance. I got it right here. You can see it. It's up in right there. There it is. There it is. I'm gonna hide my registration and my proof of insurance behind my trifold. I've got it all right there, ready to go. I got everything ready to go. The cops pull me over. I'm ready to go. Cops pull me over. I got my license, registration, proof of insurance. I can slide it out right there. My hands are at touchdown position. See that? I got everything ready to go. I'm at touchdown position. Do you see it? You see the touchdown position I'm in? Elbow here. This other elbow's propped up over here. I can film the pig. This is how everything goes. This is how you use the trifold. With your camera, you have to have them both going. That means your insurance can't be on your phone. That means your registration can't be on your phone. You have your elbows here. You're ready to go here. Your registration, proof of insurance is all right here, ready to go. My hands never come below the steering wheel, ever. They never go below the steering wheel. I guarantee you, Micus Golson, if he was alive, he would say, I endorse what you're doing, Chille. I guarantee you, if Anthony Allegrini Jr. was alive, he would say, I endorse what you're doing, Chille. This is how you do it. If you can't afford the $9 trifold, I'll give it to you for free. Free. What more do you want me to do? I give away the things that I sell to make a living for free. What more do you want? I teach you how to use the trifold. I teach you the step by step. You know how to do it because I taught you. Don't get murdered by pigs. Please don't make me do the story about you in Kentucky. Please don't make me do the story about you in Florida. I don't want to fly to Florida. Please don't make me do the story about you in Hawaii, where your parents call me and they're crying. Get the trifold. It's $9. You got $9. If you don't, it's free. Get the $30 one. Get your elbows at a touchdown position. You see that? Now, before the cop even comes up, I don't reach down. Window's already down. Window's already down. My fingers are out the window. Cop can see my hands. But this hand, the cop can see because the light of the phone lights up. So if it's at night, he can see that my hand is by my phone. My other hand is right here. Cop says license, registration, and proof of insurance. No problem. There it is. Pull my license, my registration, proof of insurance out right there. I pull it out. Cop says, do you know how fast you were going? Immediately slide it out. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I'll not be answering any questions without my attorney present. It's established since the 1793 Bill of Rights was ratified. There it is. That's how you do this. This is how you do this. I'm teaching you so that I don't have to make a story about you later, so that I don't sit up all night editing your murder video, so that I don't sit and cry my eyes out as I look at a beautiful young man who was loved by everybody who ever met him. The woman from the, you know how you go buy cologne? The dad told me last night that Anthony went to the same department store to buy cologne year after year from the time he was an early teenager, 13 or 14, when young men start wearing cologne. So by the time he was 18 and the pigs murdered him, he had gone to the same woman at the same perfume counter for 5 years or so. So when they had his funeral and they had a viewing, the woman from the department store came to the funeral and said to Anthony Allegrini Sr. that your kid was the best kid who ever came into the department store. You got to follow the process here. You got to follow the process. You got to follow the process. I made it $9, dude. I could have made it 30. I make 30 for the one I got to print and send to you. $9. $9. You don't got the $9, I'll give it to you for free. This is how you do it. You don't get involved with them. They'll murder you. And then when I go to ask questions about your murder, I'll get no answers. They'll put an internet blocker in the lobby. Just unbelievable to me. Unbelievable to me. All right. All right. Any questions? Everybody go by Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s YouTube page. Let's show some support over there. His YouTube page is called Anthony Allegrini Jr. Let's get over there and show some support. V Boyer, what's going on? Chevy! Sorry about that. I couldn't see. Shock Professor, what's going on, my friend? Techno, Teshno, Teshu, Tenshu. What's going on, Tenshu? Selena, roll call real quick. Throw some names out here so I can see them. Adam, Richie, what's going on? Jackson, Tommy, how are you? Let me say some names for some people here that have been in here supporting. I appreciate it. Bob, how you doing? Jack Boot Thug Pigs is in here. What's going on? Jeremiah, how are you? Maria, how are you? Yeah, I'm super frustrated. I mean, I look like shit because of emotions, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I look like shit. Emotions. I'm sorry that I look like hell, but that's going to happen when you are an empath and you can't stand murder. Amanda, what's going on? How are you? Good to see you. Selena, thank you for coming. All right, I read the Pennsylvania laws. I can drive. I can put this in the rubber band. I can drive and continue to talk to you guys. And I read the Pennsylvania state laws. You're not allowed to text or interact. I just read the law about driving and streaming. And so just to be safe so that the cops don't arrest me, I'm not gonna keep streaming here. But what I am gonna do is I'm going to go over right now to where Anthony Allegrini Jr. was murdered, and I'm going to take a look at that space. His aunt, actually his cousin, but it's, you know, aunt, whatever. She's a woman, and so she dropped a pin for me where I can find out where he was murdered, where I can go to the actual scene. So I'm going to go over there. I was going to go tomorrow, but I'm going to go tonight because tomorrow I'm going to go. I can't announce where I'm going to go, as you guys know. Sorry. But tomorrow I'm going to go somewhere. I'll be live tomorrow as well. So for the love of God, get the trifold in your car. Do not talk to pigs. Get over to Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s YouTube page. Drop a comment, drop a heart, show some support. Let them know that the world is watching and we're not going to tolerate it. Robert Sobek Jr., you're a piece of shit. Your dad's a piece of shit. Your bloodline's a piece of shit. You're murderers. You're murderers, dude. And someone needs to tell you, and everybody's afraid of you pigs, but I'm not. I'm not afraid. So you're a pig, Robert Sobek Jr. Your father, Robert Sobek Sr., is a pig. You're pigs. You're the worst of people. You're the worst of humanity. You're a demon, dude. His dad murdered somebody. He murdered somebody. But hey, get your son or daughter into being a pig so they can murder people too. All right, I'm going to get the flock out of here. Thanks for coming. Shanta, good to see you. You bet, T3. Good to see you, man. Yeah, that's his uncle, right? That's his uncle. Good to see you, T3. Thanks for coming. All right, I'm going to get the flock out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me run my other camera. Let me turn on my other camera real quick just before I get out of here. I'm going to keep my camera rolling right here in my console in case these guys try to pull me over, harass me, so that I have a record of it. Let me get my camera rolling before I turn off one camera. Just so you guys know, when you go to a court of law, you can't cut the footage. You can't have any cuts or it's inadmissible. And they say that you cut stuff out. So Chevy, good to see you. Anthony Allegrini Jr., good to see you. Good to see you. Soy Leal. Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s YouTube page is ran by his family. They created the YouTube page after he was murdered. So to try to shed the light, to try to show the light, shine the light on. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mess up sayings. Like one time I said, that ship has sold. I was doing a live stream. I said that ship has sold. Obviously, the saying is that ship has sailed. You know, when you're dealing with live and there's pigs, you have got Walter. Thank you for coming, Maria. Thank you. You got to make sure that you have everything recorded because you're going to make little mistakes. That ship has sold. No, it's that ship has sailed. But you make little errors when there's thousands of people watching you. So. All right, let me turn on my camera over here so that I got a running camera. So now for the judge, for my lawsuit, just so the judge can see it. Just so the judge can see it. I'm cutting this camera, Judge, and now I'm running this camera. So I cut this camera, now I'm going to be running this camera. P-Rex, good to see you, everybody. Oh, wow, it's such a better picture on the other camera. All right, so now I've got this other camera rolling. There it is. Just so that there's no cuts in case these jackboot thug pigs try to harass me. Because I pulled my car right in the parking lot. I'm not afraid. They can do whatever the hell they want. But I will hold you accountable, and there's thousands of people who will go after you guys. So that's just the way it is. All right, I'm going to get the flock out of here. Ming! Good to see you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gators.